too small, too lightweight, not dynamic enough, not strong enough, not powerful enough for this league. Don't know what he is. Good footballer, but ain't got it. My man has picked up all them comments, put them inside and said that's...
I think he's been the best player for United this season. Taking it all into consideration, new manager, how young he is, he's just 22 years of age.
He knows the expectations to play for Man United. We want this week in, week out. He's been here for a while. He's now getting his chances.
When you look at what he did against City in the Manchester derby, that late winner, but almost single-handedly was the match winner on the day.
Well done.
Once United's feared £37 million signing was written off as not good enough, insiders at Manchester United were questioning whether bringing Amad Diallo to Old Trafford was a mistake. Fast forward, and those same doubters are now singing his praises. But this is just the beginning for 22-year-old Amad Diallo. This guy is ready to dominate, and here's why he could outshine even someone like Erling Haaland. The Premier League club agreed to sign Ivory Coast winger Amad Diallo for Serie A side Atalanta towards the end of 2021. United spent an initial £19 million to secure his signature, with the overall cost potentially rising to £37 million. They saw off competition from several top clubs to bring him to Old on a 4-year deal. But at just 19, adjusting to the Premier League wasn't easy for Amad. Struggling to make an instant impact, Diallo found himself loaned out to Scottish giants Rangers in January 2022, and later to Championship side Sunderland for the 2022-23 season. A year at Sunderland, however, worked wonders for him. It was a transformative period that solidified his reputation. Sunderland FC and Amad Diallo were a match made in heaven. By the end of his spell, fans were hailing him as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, loan signings in the club's history. The Amad Diallo we see today is a completely different player. When he left for Sunderland, he was out of the first team picture at Manchester United, low on confidence after a disappointing stint at Rangers, and desperately in need of an opportunity to prove his worth. At Sunderland, he found that chance. In 42 appearances across competitions, Diallo scored 14 goals and provided 4 assists. Those numbers only tell part of the story. His flair, work rate, and ability to produce magic in crucial moments made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for opposing defenders. But back at Manchester United, the bigger issue was starting to surface. Erik ten Hag's handling of Amad Diallo left fans fuming. While Ten Hag continued to give Antony consistent minutes, despite Antony's inconsistent form, he kept Amad on the sidelines. This led to outbursts from fans who demanded to see more of the Ivorian. Remember the Fenerbahce game? The Europa League clash was tied at 1-1, and United needed a goal. Ten Hag opted for Antony, whose only goal contribution that season had come against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. Antony's substitute appearance ended in disaster, with him stretched off after 15 minutes. Only then, with 1 minute of regulation time remaining, did Ten Hag finally call on Amad. Fans were left scratching their heads wondering why Erik ten Hag didn't give him more chances. Sure, there was stiff competition, but when you've got a player as talented as Amad, it feels like a no-brainer to let him shine. And guess what? Whenever he's had an opportunity, he's grabbed it with both hands. But there were reports floating around that he might go back on loan to Sunderland. In fact, it was rumored that he was actually asking for it. Can you imagine? A guy playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world asking to go back down to the Championship. But it made sense at the time. He was barely getting game time with United. He had barely played for United. One appearance in December, 36 minutes against Nottingham Forest, and then nothing until late February. A whole lot of sitting on the bench, right? Sunderland sporting director Christian Speakman actually said, "My head would be on a stake if he didn't at least try to bring Amad back." But then, plot twist, Sunderland tried and failed to get him back. And looking back, that was probably a blessing in disguise, because if he had gone back, he wouldn't have scored that insane FA Cup extra time winner against Liverpool. That goal, oh man, it might have just changed everything for Amad. I mean, who saw that coming? Let's put this into context. It was against Liverpool in a knockout tie, and United went on to win the FA Cup. That goal wasn't just any goal. It was one of the most iconic goals in recent United history. And honestly, at that point, it seemed like it was all downhill from there for Amad. Like, how do you top that, right? But despite his FA Cup heroics, Amad barely got minutes again. He played 900 across all competitions, while Rashford and Garnacho racked up 1,400 plus each. It felt like Ten Hag just wasn't fully sold on him. But then Amorim took charge. Well, that's when the tables turned, and Amad started getting the chances he deserved. Fast forward to the Manchester derby, and this guy was out here making things happen. He won that penalty that led to Bruno Fernandes' equalizer, and then just 115 seconds later, he scored a winner. 115. Who even wrote this script? The latest, a reigning Premier League champ has been in the lead before losing, and Amad was the guy who made it happen. Now, let's not get it twisted. Those two moments were huge, but to just focus on those goals would sell him short, because in a game that was, let's be honest, pretty bad quality for most of the time, Amad was the only player who looked like he was playing in a different league. He had head and shoulders above everyone else on that pitch. This season, Amad's form has been off the charts. While others have struggled with inconsistency, he's quietly been United's most in-form winger. It's not just about goals and assists, it's his overall impact on the game. The way he moves, the way he reads the game, and his ability to create something out of nothing. It's electric. Amorim's system is built around dynamic, attacking football, and it's a perfect fit for Amad. You can see the confidence oozing out of him, the risks he takes, the skills he pulls off. It's all because he knows the manager has his back. This freedom has turned Amad into a player who can dictate games, not just react to them. And it's not just about tactics. Amorim has shown trust in Amad, giving him consistent starts and letting him play in his preferred positions. What makes Amad special? Well, there are plenty of wingers in the Premier League, but Amad brings something different, and here's why. Technical ability. Amad's touch and control are next level. Whether it's a tricky first-time pass or a tight turn under pressure, he makes it look effortless. He's the kind of player who can make defenders look silly without even breaking a sweat. His 1v1 dominance. Let's talk about those 1v1s. Amad's ability to take on defenders is unreal. He doesn't just rely on pace. He's got the skill and composure to beat his man in tight spaces. It's no wonder fullbacks hate facing him. His speed and agility. Pace, check. Agility, double check. Amad isn't just quick, he's sharp. He can change direction in an instant, leaving defenders chasing shadows. That's the kind of player you need in modern football. His commitment. One thing you'll notice about Amad is his work ethic. He's not the type to disappear when things get tough. He tracks back, he presses, and he fights for every ball. For a player so young, his maturity is impressive. Football IQ. Beyond the physical attributes, Amad's understanding of the game is what sets him apart. He's always one step ahead, whether it's timing his runs, positioning himself to receive the ball, or making decisions in the final third. This intelligence makes him a nightmare to defend against. Take the recent derby. Diallo was sharp enough to pounce on Matheus Nunes' sloppy back pass. He read the situation, got into the City box, and just stayed cool as ice. He didn't panic, didn't rush, and that calmness led to Nunes making one of the worst challenges you'll ever see, giving away a penalty. Big game player. If there's one thing we've learned this season, it's that Amad is a player for the big moments. The FA Cup winner against Liverpool wasn't a fluke. Neither was the goal against City in the derby. Lisandro Martinez, when he played the ball forward, Josko Guardiola was way too high up the pitch. That left a massive gap for Amad to sprint into. But here's the thing. Even though the space was there, Diallo still had to do something special to finish it. And man, he did. He squeezed that ball past Ederson with an incredible finish. And it's not just his individual brilliance that makes him a threat. Amad's ability to link up with teammates and create opportunities for others makes him a complete package. Whether it's threading through balls, delivering pinpoint crosses, or popping up with goals himself, he's got everything you want in a modern attacker. His work under Amorim has also shown that he's adaptable. Whether it's playing as an inverted winger, a wide forward, or even dropping into midfield to dictate play, Amad can do it all. This versatility makes him a nightmare to plan against. Let's not forget his performances in other key matches against top 6 opponents. Amad has consistently delivered, whether it's scoring, assisting, or simply being a constant threat. This ability to rise to the occasion is what every team dreams of in a player. Looking ahead, it's clear that Amad Diallo is going to be a huge part of Manchester United's future. With players like Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno in the mix, adding Amad to the equation gives United one of the most exciting attacking lineups in Europe. His versatility means he can play anywhere across the front line, and his creativity is exactly what United need to break down stubborn defenses. But it's not just about the here and now. Amad has the potential to become a generational talent. If United can keep him happy, give him the minutes he deserves, and build a team that plays to his strengths, there's no limit to what he can achieve. The scary thing for the rest of the league is that Amad is only getting started. He's still young, still learning, and still improving. Imagine what he'll be like in a few years with more experience under his belt. The thought of peak Amad Diallo is enough to give any Premier League defender nightmares. So why does the Premier League need to fear Amad Diallo? Because he's got the talent, the mentality, and the drive to dominate. He's already shown glimpses of what he can do, and under the right guidance, he's only going to get better. City have already felt the sting of his brilliance, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the league follows. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment with your thoughts on Amad's season. season. Catch you in the next one. Peace.